Well, this is going to be one of the weirdest and most controversial series of videos I've ever done in my life. But let's do this. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Drew, better known as RockChalk01, and today I am going to rank every single Disney animated film from worst to best based on a tier list. I created a tier list, and I'm not going to show you guys because that would kind of be cheating, but I made a tier list and ranked every Disney animated film, and I am going to share those with you guys, and it's going to be a series of videos. So this is part one, and it's the worst of the bunch. So this is all F tier. So there are 8 films in F tier, and I'm going to rank each of those films from worst to best. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and without further ado, let's get into this. In last place is Make Mine Music. Now, there is good reasons why this is, in my opinion, the worst Disney animated film of all time. I binge watched the entire Disney animated canon on Disney Plus, except this one. This one was not on there. I had to go to YouTube to watch it. So that was bonus points. But other than that, the stories that were being told, I just could not get hooked on it. It just seemed like it dragged a lot, and it just was not fun for me at all. So I know this is very, very short and very, very brief. I don't want to go into the full basics of the movie. You can go watch it yourself on YouTube. But with that being said, the worst movie, in my opinion, is Make Mine Music. In 7th place out of the F tier, it is going to be Melody Time. Now, this is kind of similar to Make Mine Music. However, I was hooked on one of the stories that was being told, and that was Johnny Appleseed. I liked that. I liked the music that was going on to it. The score was a lot better in my opinion, but this film still seemed to drag constantly in some of the other stories that were being told. Again, this film did not seem to click, and I think it has a very, very short running time. But it's not the worst film in the canon, but it's still pretty bad. So that's why in 7th is Melody Time. Coming in at number 6 is Saludos Amigos, and I've actually seen this twice. Once just on Disney Plus, and then second in a Spanish class. And it is the shortest run time of the Disney canon, which is like, I think 48 minutes, including the credits. This is where we actually get introduced to the 3 Caballeros. I think that's the big, big plus out of this film. But other than that, it just seemed like I was being bored out of my mind in a Spanish class, constantly watching this film, and it just didn't really seem to click, and it just was blah. That's why in 6th is Saludos Amigos. In 5th place in the F tier is Home on the Range. This film made me hate being from Kansas for a while because our state song is called Home on the Range. This film stinks. The characters in this film were so god-awfully not written well. I came to dislike every single character in this film. The villain, I just hated him so much that I wanted to turn this off, but I had to watch the full film. But the cows in this thing, I hated them too. This film made me hate so much about the character builds that it just was not a good film. That's why it's here at number 5. In 4th place out of the F tier is Dinosaur, and this was Disney's first true attempt at computer animated films, and it flopped. And there's so much flaws with this on the animation with this film. I just did not seem to really like it. It seemed very, very staticky. The score written for this film probably saved it all, because I really love the score of this film. The story was meh, the character builds were pretty meh, but the animation is what really truly hurt this film in my opinion. But it is in the better half of F tier, but it's still not one of my favorites. In third place out of the F tier is Chicken Little. Now hold your horses. I know a lot of people, especially Brian Hull. By the way, congratulations on getting Dracula in Hotel Transylvania. But Chicken Little, I know a lot of people hate this movie, but as a kid, I used to love this film. I don't know why, but after rewatching it, and rewatching it again, the story is split in two, honestly, in my opinion, because it starts with that he wants to really hit this ball out of the ballpark and get a hit, but then the alien story is technically the main plot, but it seems like it's more being like getting that hit and then getting that alien plot going. And I think that's what kind of ruins it. I think the story being split in two is what killed this film. The characters were fine, some of the characters were not, but most of the main characters in this film were pretty good, in my opinion. But the story is what struck this being a terrible film, in my opinion, so that's why it's here as number 3. The runner-up in F tier is The Black Cauldron. Now, this is Disney's stepsister of the film, because everybody is like, oh, this is probably one of the worst films ever. It's not the most successful film ever. So put those two together, you get an evil stepsister. However, there is some good things about Black Cauldron. I mean, the story kind of stinks, but there's some good into it. And I think that a lot of people over-bash this film. It's still pretty bad, but I mean, like, I think it's not down to the bottom of the barrel bad. With that being said, I think Black Cauldron is a better film than a lot of people think. Which means, for me, as the best film in the F tier is The Rescuers Down Under. And a lot of people are going to hate me for this because they say, oh, this sequel's better than the original. In my opinion, it's not. I think the story arcs for these characters just did not sit well for me. The story was great. I mean, it's a good idea on paper, but when you put it in, when they put this into practice, it just did not fit well. Their story arcs just seemed to just not be there. And I think a lot of characters just seem to like die off or like die down, in my opinion. However, it could have been D tier, but it just missed out. So it gets a gold for being not the worst, but the best of the worst. So congratulations, Rescuers Down Under. You did something good. So that is going to do it for my rankings of F tier. Please leave a comment on what you guys think. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and push that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my other videos. And then I will see you again for when we rank D tier. And D tier is going to be a little bit longer than F tier, so bear with me. But until then, have a good day. Never ever bring exotic dancers to the field house, and I should see you on the flip side. Peace!